So I would say, okay, so the very first place, like, I'm gonna shout out all these places, like the PRX Podcast Garage in Austin. I was there, like, they were on it, like, with the recording. I didn't have any equipment. Well, I had my equipment, but, like, I didn't have to bring anything. Yeah, they just recorded everything.
Nice.
And then sent it to me. I was like, oh, yeah, this is dope. And then that's when the pandemic hit, so I was like, okay.
Of course.
They shut down, so I was like, all right, well, I'm going to have to take my stuff and go to people, which worked for some time. But then I was like, okay, I don't really like traveling to a whole bunch of different places. Like, I still think, one place would be better. And then I think the next place I went to was Scope Apparel in JP, and they were cool. But I think, like, it was a lot, like, they were still, like, in the process of, like, creating their set space.
Oh, okay.
So, like I was trusting them because, my boy works there.
Yeah.
But I was, like, they were still building. Like, I still support them. But,
right, of course.
yeah, I was just like, I like it, but I feel like I need something that's a little more stable and structured.
Right.
So, yeah, I believe those are the only places. I might be missing something. I don't know. But, yeah, now I'm at my house. I have that. It's a real good space. Like, I set up on my studio phone, my microphones. Like,
nice.
Got a whole table and stuff. So I was like, yeah, no, this feels good. And I think being in all those different places and, like, having to bounce around, that was making me lose a little bit of motivation to do it, because I'm like, it was draining.
Yeah.
So, but now I'm like, okay, I have a set spot. I feel more comfortable. Like, I know what I'm doing. I used to set up everything in a certain way. Now I'm like, okay, this is how I gotta set it up here, and this is how I gotta do it every time. Just because, like, now it's my space, and I don't really have to rely on other people. I think that's something that's hard for me a little bit. Is like putting my faith into, or I want to say trusting other people all the time, just because I know how I operate, and if stuff doesn't go the way I expected to in my head, then it's like, okay, yeah, no, this can't work. And
facts.
Even, like, with my podcast, I know me, I'm like, my podcast, that's my baby. So I can't let anybody just come in and, try to tell me what to do. I'm like, I do take advice and stuff like that, but I feel like that's my baby, man. I take care of it, like,
I'll make it your own.
That's
your brand.
I protect it, and I'm like, it has to have the look that I give it, not, what other people try to label it as, I guess. But,